This episode originally aired on January 7th, 2022 on the Unethical Patreon. Go there if you want more stuff. Our client today is a longtime friend of the show, all around hilarious dude, Virgil Eliphas. El, Elip, Elipas? Elif, Virgil.
Because I'm seeing Mr. Mackey. Wow. And here I thought that Richard and I were the comedians, but there comes Rick with that absolute fucking red hot zinger.
So guys, if anybody comes in looking for me today, my name's not Abigail. I'm Fonda. Fonda Dix.
Oh, Fonda Dix. Oh, God.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a totally serious name that no one would question.
Thanks for giving us a chuckle today. And also, we have to have a conversation. There's been some weird stuff going on.
Hey, how's it going? This is Officer Virgil. I'm here looking for Abigail.
Oh, that's Abigail. I don't know any Abigails. You guys know any Abigails?
No. I only know one person ever. Her name's Fonda.
Shit, I guess I'll stick around and wait for her, but while I'm here, I got this fucking case I can't solve. I could use a couple dicks to, get my hands on to help with this.
Officer wants to play with dicks. Classic officer.
All the time. I need a few good dicks.
What do you want us to do?
Oh, I got this file right here. It's on this house. It's some weird shit going on. I just can't figure it out, man. I'm stuck on it. So I was hoping, maybe while I wait for this chick, you guys can help me out.
Are you talking about the Watcher house?
Exactly. That'd be the one. How'd you know?
I was looking into this all week. I don't know why. So I already know. We'll go through it and we'll tell you the answer. Sound good? We can do that right now.
Yeah, let's do this.
An elite team of private detectives.
What if balloons are aliens? Maybe that's the key component we're missing.
Cover-ups.
John's guilty.
Mysteries that need to be solved.
Maybe Mormons need mountains.
Richard, shut up.
So today, I was telling the guys and the girl that this one here is scary to me. I find this terrifying episode. I just want you guys to know that. It's nightmare fuel and a half. We'll see. We'll see how you guys think about it. Who are the Watchers? What we're trying to figure out today, just for Rick's clarity as to exactly what we're trying to figure out here today. Who is the Watcher, or what's going on at the Watcher house? We'll start in 2014 with a family named the Broaddusses. Last name Broaddusses. They're a family of 5. Derek and Maria Broaddus bought their new home in Westfield, New Jersey. So we're going to Jersey, douchebag town.
Joyzy.
The house is now known as the Watcher House of Westfield. But before this whole thing, it was just referred to as 657 Boulevard. So I'm going to be saying 657 Boulevard a lot, but when I'm referring to that, it means the Watcher House. Okay. 657 Boulevard is a 110-year-old colonial home that is nearly 4,000 square feet in size. It is a 3-story near mansion-sized house with high ceilings, elegant columns, multiple fireplaces, and a sweeping verdant garden. The Broaddusses bought 657 Boulevard from John and Andrea Woods for $1.4 million.
Oh my God.
Pretty big house.
An income bracket I am firmly unfamiliar with.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be unfamiliar with that.
Yeah, but it depends on the area you live in. Like if you live anywhere near DC, you have a small ass house and that's what they start at. It's like $1 million.
That's true.
Oh, I just mean anything for that much money ever is fully outside of my ability.
You just
to reason.
go into debt for the rest of your life and you put it on credit and you never pay it off.
Pal, I did that for a $20,000 car. So let's reassess what you think my credit is worth.
Fuck, I wish I would have thought to buy a house with this credit. I fucked it up before I could get the house. God damn it.
If only I could get a $20,000 house in Shitfield, Alabama.
I'm sure there's a tid shack waiting out there for you somewhere, RJ.
Certainly.
The Woodses were both in their mid-60s. They had 2 grown-up sons, so they were just looking to downsize for their golden years. John Woods is, I guess, a cell biologist who went for his postdoctoral studies at Yale. Smart guy. He and his wife both worked at Merck, which is a pharmaceutical company that makes vaccines and other products. They lived there for 23 years prior to the Broaddusses buying it from them. The 6-bedroom house was way bigger than Derek and Maria needed for them and their 3 kids. It was their dream house in a dream neighborhood. All 3 of their kids, I should say, were between the ages of 5 and 10. Derek Broaddus grew up in Maine in a working class family. He worked his way up to a position as senior vice president at a mandate insurance company. Does anyone know what a mandate insurance company is? Because I fucking don't. I looked it up. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's a company that pays you enough money to afford a $1.4 million mortgage.
Yeah, it's an insurance douchebag. So yeah, I'm sure whatever it is. Maria actually grew up in Westfield, where the 657 Boulevard is, from another working class family. She ended up growing up just up the road from where 657 Boulevard was. So that house to her was it's the nicest one in the neighborhood. It's the biggest one probably. And then they got an opportunity to buy a house there. So they did. And in Westfield, they were moving. It's in New Jersey. It's closer to New York. It's got a medium household income of $155,000 a year and has a population of approximately 30,000 people. It's the 99th most rich city in America. Average house cost there is just over $800,000. So 1.4 million is on the high end of how much houses cost.
The low end's on the high end.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the middle end. The low end's probably like $500,000 for that tin shack we were talking about. It's basically the suburbs of New York. It's 45 minutes drive to Manhattan. So when the 40-year-old couple saw the house go up for sale, they couldn't resist the beautiful, nearly 110-year-old home. They had saved most of their adult lives to live this dream. The house was built in 1905 by prominent J. Herbert Purcell. He sold the house, the 657 Boulevard, to the town's mayor in 1913 for $1. The mayor sold it to his son in 1947 for $1. They sell it for $1 in 1951, and then it sold again for another $1 in 1953. And guess what? In 1955, they sold it for $1. Whoever owned it. I don't understand why these dollar sales are going on. It must be some tax fucking thing. I think
it was that 40 years that inflation just froze.
Yeah. Had $1 for a mansion with fucking. It must be some sort of tax write-off. I don't get why they were doing it. Virgil seemed to know what it was. He went, yes.
Yeah, it's the tax rate goes off of how much you pay. So it's like buy a piece of shit car. You say you paid $50 for it, and that's all you pay taxes on. That's
kind of what I figured. But was it that, or was it something else? Because this house has had some fucked up shit happen to it, to the new owners. So I just kind of want to put it out there that everyone was selling it for $1. Maybe it's for taxes. Maybe it's something else. In 1955, the people who bought the house in 55 were named Lawrence and Mary Schaffner, and they kept the house until 1990 when they sold it to the Woodses. I don't know if that was for $1. No disclosure on how much, but it might have been. Who knows?
So the dollar thing, though, that I don't know if you see the full picture behind that. The idea is they claimed it for $1, but there was very likely fistfuls of cash happening under the table.
Oh yeah, because whatever they saved in taxes, they probably just
like,
I'll give you half of what I would have had to pay in taxes, and then just sell it to me for $1. Sure. Right. Yeah, I get that. Like trust me.
I know all about tax evasion. Look at me.
No, yeah. It's not that. I'm just saying, like, I get it's probably because of that, because of tax purposes, but I also want to put it out there that it might not be because of that. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Waxing horrifically.
Yes. So yeah, the Schaffners kept it until 1990 when they sold to the Woods. And the Woodses owned it for the 23 years, like I said. So the Woodses sold it for like a lot more than $1, like $1.5 million, right? So I find like maybe this was their retirement plan. Maybe they just wanted to they bought that for $1 and fuck it, we'll build it up and sell it off. I don't know, but they left. That's all I'm saying. They're done. The Broaddusses have it now. All right. June 2nd, 2014, the house closed, and the Broaddusses were the official owners of 657 Boulevard. Derek and Maria didn't move the family in right away. They were planning to renovate the house before the whole fam jam made their appearance. They would, however, slowly move stuff in from time to time, but they currently live just down the street in a different little New Jersey town, not that far away. So they had both houses at the same time. So 3 days after closing, Derek Broaddus spent the day renovating alongside the hired contractors, prepping the house for the whole family. to move in, and he checked the mail. 10 o'clock at night. In the mailbox, he found an anonymous white card-sized envelope addressed in thick handwriting to, quote unquote, the new owner. The typed letter read in part, and I quote,
"Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, how did you end up here? Did 657 Boulevard call to you with its force within? 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s. My father watched it in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies between the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out. I see already that you have flooded 657 Boulevard with contractors so that you can destroy the house as it was supposed to be. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Bad move. You don't want to make 657 Boulevard unhappy."
So just terrifying. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So the letter keeps going.
"I asked the Woods to bring Youngblood, and it looks like they listened."
Wait, what, the Woods is? So there's like a fucking the Woods. What? He's talking about the previous owners. The letter continues.
"Once I know their names, I will call them and draw them to me. Who am I? Hundreds of cars pass by the house every day. Maybe I am in one. Check all the windows that can be seen from 657 Boulevard. Perhaps I am one."
And then it ends with,
"Welcome, my friends, welcome. Let the party begin."
and it was signed with a typed out cursive font.
"The Watcher."
Thoughts?
Just some fucking bored loser.
I agree.
Because like it reads like fucking some dim-witted fan fiction. I mean, that's like the actual wording of the letter.
That's the actual wording of the letter, yeah.
Yeah, it's someone trying too hard to be spoopy.
Sounds like a bad Tinder profile.
I'm gonna go ahead and depart from that opinion, because if that was someone's Tinder profile bio, I would be extremely interested. That is way better than, oh, I'm just looking for blah blah blah. No, that's just straight up fucking insanity. Color me intrigued.
Abigail, do you have kids?
No.
So I'm the only person with children, or you must have children, Virgil, but you don't care. You're a goddamn Satanist. You're like me. Who gives a shit? But I mean, at the end of the day, these guys were fucking terrified of this letter, like 3 days into being there, and they're telling them they're going to call my children out from the backyard. I don't care how fucking bad fan fiction that is. I'd be high alert too. My kids, I don't care how nerds are the ones fucking kids. You know what I mean? Like those are the ones, like the scary ones that write shit like this are the ones probably fucking my children. No thanks.
I'll be sitting and waiting for the next time you self-describe as a nerd.
Oh yeah. No, that's okay. I what I'm saying is the ones that are writing shit like this, the nerds that are writing stuff like this are the ones looking for children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of
they're
course
not nerds
terrified.
in the Marvel sense. They're nerds in the kiddie porn sense. Gotcha. They have a different kind of. It's not an action figure collection. It's a different kind of them. Their collection's on a hard drive buried in the floorboards.
I'm using your descriptor. I don't think this is a nerd. So you said
gotcha.
It sounds like a nerd doing fan fiction. I just think this is some fucking crazy person who lives in the neighborhood, really.
Yeah.
Or other things. But anyways, when my kids are at
what? Well, okay. So this is like an upscale downstate place. What color was the skin of the Broaddusses when they moved in?
I'm going with white.
Oh, all right. If it was black, I would not put it past those fucking pieces of shit down there to be like, hey, we don't want them here.
Wrong
I have an
neighborhood,
idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, pieces of shit down there? Is that how you refer to New Jersey?
Yeah.
No, that's how I refer to downstate above the city. Those people are fucking terrible.
That's how I refer to New Jersey people, just so you know.
No,
okay,
I mean also New Jersey, as an aside, if you're curious. Yes. I've seen The Sopranos. I know everything I need to know about New Jersey, and it's hilarious. So, but fucking just north of the city is all just, dog shit rich people. So wouldn't have been surprised if they were racists. Sorry, continue.
No, I know.
Do we know where Snooki's at during all this?
Yes, no, it's Snooki the whole time. There's too many. It's actually like got like perfect spelling, so I don't think it's Snooki. And it's not written in crayon; it's typed out.
So excuse me. Then, is this place in Jersey or is it in New York?
It's in New Jersey. It's right on the border.
So it's west of like Manhattan or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was thinking like Westchester up above New York and all that.
No, it's still the same kind of
same thing. It really doesn't matter, I guess.
I'm gonna put it like rich people, like that affluent.
So literally the neighborhood Tony Soprano lived in, basically.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Exactly.
So again, I'm very right. Super racist.
Read that with a weird Italian accent, like, ask the woods to bring me young blood, and it looks like they don't listen. No, all right. So yeah, Derek. I'll just move on. Derek was petrified, and he called the police instantly. It was past 10 p.m. by the time he got to read the letter, so he ran inside of his house, switched off all the lights, and waited for the police to arrive. A Westfield police officer arrived and took a statement from Derek. Then, after he took the statement, he recommended that the Broaddusses take all their equipment that they have outside and bring it inside, just in case it's someone who is in the neighborhood, wants to smash your windows with it or something. So just hide your shit now because you're some sort of weird target. After speaking with the officer, Derek headed back to where they are actually living, and he emailed the Woodses. I'm sure his brain was like, why the fuck is this letter mentioning your name? But he just sent a nice email saying, hey, I got to talk to you. And then she called back the next day. She did confirm that she got a letter from someone who signed it, the Watcher, 3 days before closing. But she just looked at it, went, this is stupid, and threw it in the garbage.
Good move.
Yeah.
Good move. I would not have been informing if that happened today here, there is no way I could tell my girlfriend, hey, look what I found in the mailbox. I would just throw it away.
All right. She said that they lived there for 23 years. They only got the one letter ever, and that was 3 days before closing. So it wasn't like this was a big history of this ever. It was just 3 days before closing, got a weird letter, threw it out. That's all I got. Okay. But to be prudent, the Woodses agreed to go to the police station with the Broaddusses and give further statements. After their statements were taken, Detective Leonard Lugo told Maria not to tell the neighbors of the letters yet because the neighbors were all suspects and the police didn't want to tip off the neighborhood. So for the next 2 weeks, the Broaddusses were paranoid as shit. Derek canceled a work trip. They would head back to their other house before sundown on most nights. And if the kids were allowed to go to the new house, they weren't to leave their mother's sight. If they were, they'd be getting a get over here. Where are you going? I can't see you. The situation was stressful for the kids now too, because the parents were being a lot more like, they're moving to a new house. It should be fun. It shouldn't be like super stressful for the kids. So they were taking it. Derek and Maria tried to play it cool with the new neighbors, not wanting them to suspect that they were suspected. During one visit from a neighbor who wanted to check on their progress with the renovations, the wife of the couple commented on how it's going to be nice to have some new young blood in the neighborhood, which set them off even more, like suspecting everyone now in the whole neighborhood. They did tell Detective Lugo about the encounter, which he couldn't really do anything about because it's just words. Nothing's happened yet. 2 weeks after the arrival of the first note on July 18th, 2014, Maria went to the house to check some paint samples, and she found another note in the mailbox and instantly called the police before she even read it. This time it was addressed to the Broaddusses by name, but they spelt their name wrong as Broaddus instead of Broaddus. This doesn't really change what's written. And really, honestly, there could be like a fucking 1,000 ways to spell Broaddus. So it's not really too off for me that they didn't know how to spell the name properly. But it also gives a hint to who isn't doing this. It must be someone who never seen their name written down anywhere. It must be someone who's just heard their name been spoken, right? Because if they would have seen it, they probably would have gotten the spelling right. So it's kind of a little bit of a hint what's going on here. Here's most of letter 2, and I quote,
"Welcome again to your new home at 657 Boulevard. The workers have been busy, and I've been watching you unload carfuls of your personal belongings. The dumpster is a nice touch. Have they found what's in the walls yet? In time they will. 657 Boulevard is anxious for you to move in. It has been years since Youngblood ruled the hallways of the house. Have you found all the secrets it holds yet? Will the Youngbloods play in the basement? Or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be very afraid if I were them. It is far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream.
So, okay, cool joke, like hilarious. Let's just throw that out. It's not the whole thing.
No, I mean, if anything, I'm happy. I'm like, all right. I mean, I wanted to buy a place that was soundproof. Now I know if I'm in the basement versus upstairs, I don't really have to worry about hearing that. So, I mean, that just sounds like a really good realtor. I'm sold.
You'd be the perfect adversary for this letter writer, then.
Yeah.
That none of this terrifies you at all. Like getting
no, absolutely not. Absolutely. If somebody told me that I'm not going to hear somebody die from the basement, I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah.
How many people are dying in your basement?
No, it's just the idea that if I can't hear someone die, that I can't hear anything down there. That's nice. If I'm upstairs, I want to sleep. Okay. If I'm in the basement, I don't have to worry about being quiet. That's just
he writes these letters
practical.
To any neighbor that dares move within 5 miles of him. That's why he's not scared.
See, if I was writing letters, it would be like, you will never find your trash can lid the first time you put it out. Like I would just really,
your face looks real pretty through the scope of my rifle.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, after he says the scream part, he mentions the kids by name, and he goes from age to highest age down to lowest age, saying their name and their nickname. So he figured out a lot in 2 weeks. They didn't publish this in the magazine article that actually was the main source of this story from New York magazines, like The Cut. But yeah, they didn't mention the kids' names, which was nice. They didn't fucking publish that. Good. Thanks, guys. Usually you see crazy shit like that in articles, but I guess New York magazine did a good job this time. Thanks, guys.
Wait, but what were the kids' names? Like if your name's James, like, and you say, you call your kid Jimmy, that's not really like fucking mind blowing. Like,
oh my God, he knew his nickname.
Sure. If it's like John, Mary, and I don't know, like, yes, I guess you could pick all the nicknames, guess them, but it's very high likelihood.
He knew that John was Johnny and Mary was Mary E.
I mean, it's some rich white people from New Jersey. I would have to guess that they were all pretty common names.
Yeah, they didn't tell the name, so maybe you're right on that. I'm gonna go with either way. It's still terrifying. And then he also says one of the girls' names. He asked if the young blood using the easel in the enclosed porch in the back is the artist of the family.
No, it's the one without the easel.
Yeah, no, it's the one playing outside soccer, asshole. Of course, it's the one with the easel. The letter continues.
Will they sleep in the attic, or will you all sleep on the second floor? Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I will know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who is in which bedroom. Then I can plan better. All the windows and doors in 657 Boulevard allow me to watch you and track you as you move through the house. Who am I? I am the Watcher, and I've been in control of 657 Boulevard for the better part of 2 decades now. The Woods family turned it over to you. It was their time to move and kindly sold it when I asked them to.
It's the Woodses get mentioned again,
So wait, what year did this happen again?
2014.
Okay. I'm really not amazed that this guy knows which way the rooms face. I felt like Zillow existed since 2004.
Yeah, it's not that he knows which way the rooms face. It's knowing the kids' names and asking where they're sleeping.
Well, Zillow demands that you put your kids' nicknames in the listing now. So
maybe the realtor that sold him the house is just a serial killer.
Hey, that's always a possibility.
Maybe it is. Just a quick side note. My realtor sucked ass and I nearly fired her prior to getting this house. I then went on to ignore text messages from her, around 7 or 8 of them, over the course of the past 6 months since we closed on this house. I just ignored her. She just kept like, hey, happy 4th of July, shit like that. This bitch showed up at my house on last Wednesday night. Just showed up on the front step with a fucking pie and a box with a bow on it and was like, hey, and I opened the door and I was like, hi. And she just walked in, just came right into my foyer and started actually asking me, "What's wrong with your phone? I didn't get any text." Yeah. So yeah, realtors are fucking insane.
Yeah, it's one of the minor theories in this is that it's like a real estate agent who's just pissed or whatever. Like it'll come up, but yes,
not pissed. Not pissed. He just wants the commission, then resell it again, get the commission, resell it again. If you can scare them away before they move in, you keep your commission.
That's a good.
That's genius.
It's pretty smart, actually. Just
yeah.
To make a lot of money, like just scare the fuck.
Because
out.
if you look at the realty agreements, you would owe if you back out of that deal, and they would get that. Yeah,
I don't know. They would get that. I don't know about that. When the bank
no, not the bank. No, it goes back to the. I mean, there's portions that get divvied out, but yeah, the realtor would be able to sell it again and would get a portion of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, once you sign them contracts, they can just fist your whole asshole out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the letter's not done. The second letter's not done yet. It says,
I pass by many times a day. 657 Boulevard is my job, my life, my obsession. And now you are too, Broaddus family. Welcome to the product of your greed. Greed is what brought the past 3 families to 657 Boulevard, and now it has brought you to me.
And it ends with,
have a happy moving day. You know I'll be watching. The Watcher.
That rascal.
That rascal. This put the Broaddus adults, Derek and Maria, into full-blown paranoid mode. The plan was still not to tell the neighbors about the letters after they talked to but they fucking had a hard time. They got invited to a barbecue, which they felt like they had to go to because it was across the street and they didn't want to tip off anyone that they know. So they went there. They couldn't even focus on having a good time. They just kept thinking about the stalker. Everyone that was there, they were just like, this is the guy doing it. This is the guy doing it. This is the guy doing it. So they fucking left early, made kind of like an ass of themselves leaving early like that. And when they got home, this is when they decided to upgrade the security at 657. And they put cameras all over the house, kind of like probably a quarter of what Getz has for home security, but something. They started with home security.
Try a 10th.
Yeah, 10th probably.
Yeah. Did they have a single laser? If not even a 10th.
There's a lot of cameras and motion sensors and things here. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't put that much into it yet, but they did. They definitely put some stuff. Also, Derek Broaddus would stay there late at night and he walked the neighborhood mapping it. And he would just like kind of keeping the eye. So he was like there's maps, dude. What do you take making maps for? Like he was like getting a crayon out and mapping the neighborhood and like this guy has the potential to be the guy. This guy. So he's going right into full blown paranoid mode. They stopped bringing their kids to the house when they were bringing stuff over. The second letter actually put into question whether or not they were going to even move into the house. 1 month later to the day, on June 18th, 2014, the Broaddusses received their third letter. The Broaddusses, when they got this letter, they showed it to the police, and the police are like, is this because you guys haven't been there? Because it starts to get a little bit weirder as it goes. So it starts with,
where have you gone to? 657 Boulevard is missing you. The 60s were a good time for 657 when I ran room to room imagining life with the rich occupants there. The house was full of young blood.
And he keeps saying young blood, which I don't know why it creeps me out so much. It definitely does.
657 Boulevard is turning on me. It's coming after me. I don't understand why. What spell did you cast on it? It used to be my friend and now it is my enemy. I am in charge of 657 Boulevard and it's not in charge of me. I will fend off its bad things and wait for it to become good again. It will not punish me. I will rise again. I will be patient, wait for this to pass, for you to bring me the young blood. So basically what he's saying there is like, I'll be patient, wait for this to pass. So I'm not going to send any more letters. I'm going to fucking sit here and wait. It's kind of scary. 657 Boulevard needs young blood. It needs you. Come back. Let the young blood play like they once did. Let the young blood sleep in 657 Boulevard. Stop changing and let it alone. Allow me to watch you and track you as you move through the house. And then he starts like commenting on how fancy the upgrades are. He's like, the workers have been busy. Have they found what's in the walls yet? In time they will. Do you know what the history of the house? Do you know what lies beneath the walls of the house? So he crams on the walls thing again. Nothing's ever fucking found in the walls of the house.
Probably a bunch of cum socks that he left there.
Yeah.
There was probably like a crack in the lath and plaster that he just stuffed all of his used cum socks into.
Tell me you like my collection. Do you like my collection?
I would really wish they wouldn't find them. I'm very embarrassed about it.
Yeah, they had a bunch of people come in. They had like home inspector come check the walls. They had like geothermal fucking, like they checked the walls. There's fuck all on the walls. None of the contractors ever found anything in the walls.
Fuck that. If somebody's telling me there's something in my walls, good, keep it there. I don't care. Not wasting any time or money on that.
Yeah. You don't have children. It's kind of weird.
Oh no, another dead body with the ones that I added?
Yeah.
That's called insulation, all right?
It's cheaper. I save so much money on dead bodies. I don't even have to like warm my house anymore.
Well, and the nice thing is that as they age, the gases expand it. So it really packs in the area, really keeps the cold air out, you know?
Exactly. And the fermentation of the rotting, it just adds warmth, right? It's just a chemical reaction. It's just heating your house. You can turn off your fucking furnace for the year. I get that. Derek and Maria kept in contact with Detective Lugo as this was going on, but the Broaddusses don't really think much is going on at the police station, so they start their own investigation. But the police did actually do some stuff. They got DNA sample from the person who licked the envelope. The DNA sample couldn't identify anyone in particular, but it did yield some results. The DNA sample is from a woman, so they know it's a woman or a part of a combo team of a man and a woman.
Oh, because everyone knows you have to have a partner when you lick envelopes.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying there's a woman involved at some point. So it's not just a guy if there is a guy even at all.
Is just in licking the envelope. They like Lady and the Tramped it from both ends and then met in the middle and kissed.
Yeah. It's a woman licking the stamps anyway. Maybe he's got like a friend, like, come on over. I got some envelopes for you today. Again, how many letters do you send? I don't know. I just like watching you lick envelopes. Weird, creepy fetish.
It's gonna be my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Just Virgil licking envelopes in his police hat. Oh God. The police also assigned extra officers to patrol the neighborhood in hopes of catching someone doing something in the act. They talked to a lot of people in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, nothing came of any of their investigation. When the Broaddusses started their own investigation, they hire a retired FBI agent, a handwriting expert, and a linguistics expert to look into the case. They uncovered some good stuff too. Okay, so nothing to crack the case, but some stuff that could narrow the culprit down. So the FBI agent, Robert Lenahan, did a threat assessment on the letters, which I find fucking hilarious. He just read the letters and was like, yellow or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, did he actually assign a color?
No, he didn't. I'm just saying his final.
That's where my mind went.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing I thought.
Magenta.
Yeah. Yeah, his final analysis said that the letters weren't
burn that shit to the ground.
Yeah, he says they're not overtly threatening, but then he also says the writer could be very unpredictable. So like he did nothing. I bet you they paid him shit tons of money to do that, and he was just like, it doesn't look threatening, but it could be.
Well, it was.
That seems like not my fucking problem.
Yeah, it's very progressive of them to hire him. What was his job?
He was former FBI agent, profiler, I guess.
Oh, so you said retired. Gotcha. I thought you said something else.
Oh,
and I was like, well, of course he'd use colors then.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The red. Anyways, the handwriting profiler, like the handwriting expert, profiled the watcher as an older woman because of the way the vocabulary in the letter, and the way the sentences were punctuated. Apparently, and I didn't know this because maybe I'm too old, but you don't put two spaces between fucking the sentences anymore, like between a period, between the next. People don't do that anymore. They just go like that's fucking insanity to me. We need to have order.
That's
in
no
our life.
Typewriter thing.
Yeah, we need to have order. I need to know when the sentence ends. I don't have time for all the periods.
That would be
it's a fucking period.
The punctuation mark that does that. Yeah.
I don't have time for these periods.
So you need to add an extra keystroke in there because you don't have enough time.
A space. The space lets me know it's over. You guys don't, but you don't do that though, RJ?
It's one space.
Yeah, I put two spaces. I was taught that way.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no, they always taught me in school.
I mean, with your internet speed up there, yeah, I'd stick to a typewriter as well. So
I'm getting roasted. That was a good one. The linguistics expert was the former singer of Shana Na, which I found was funny. His name's Robert Leonard. His job was to take the language patterns and match them with other people that would resemble the same language pattern on like internet forums and stuff like that, and see if he could find anything that matched up that way. Nothing.
I hate people. I hate people. This is also stupid.
It is. It's all fucking made up. It's like that. It's like handwriting science just evolved.
If there's so many, you paid $1.4 million for a house. Wait a minute. You want to pay me a shit ton of money to just Google?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's essentially.
Now they probably talk about it on a podcast. Fucking losers.
Yeah, they put together an impressive team, I say. Nothing, though. Shit, all for real answers to anything. So they even started to think this might be some supernatural happenings going on at the house. So,
of course,
they called in their priest to come bless the house, too. So even the priest came in. I'm like, I'm fleece these fucking assholes, too. I love it. I love it.
Somebody's already obsessed with the kid, so might as well bring in a priest.
Yeah, exactly. How do they know it's not the priest? Maybe it was like a sting operation. It's got to be the priest. Let's get him in for a blessing, and we'll question him.
You want a sting operation? I would have solved this shit way, way, way back after the first letter, because I would have started dressing up like a mailbox and waiting. Because you want to scare me? What's going to scare you more than reaching into that mailbox to hand off a letter and then you feel my bare dick?
Just RJ like
yes,
making like some sort of pose. Mailbox
just my head comes up and I'm just smiling.
Mr. Mackey, is that you?
By dick feel?
Mr. Mackey would have a very.
Hey, I've watched a lot of South Park. All right.
You have the memorabilia, including all the dildos of the characters' penises.
I wouldn't be shocked if Matt Stone and Trey Parker actually had that somewhere, like a dildo.
NFTs are
NFTs. Yeah. Yeah. You know the thing that's like Beanie Babies, but on the internet. NFTs.
Smart people stuff.
Yeah. After they get the priest in, they're like, we got to get more security, okay? Because they've upgraded twice so far. They put out a job posting for a security guard for the house, one preferably with a military background and a trained German shepherd.
Okay.
So now they're fucking getting like the militia on their side. That's how scared they are.
Yeah, we're looking for a security guard. We're not saying definitely a white supremacist, but like, you know, that vibe.
Yeah, let's go.
They're not, I don't know why I just went on focus, but they're not living in this house yet. Right?
No.
They just put shit in there and they're getting these threats that they are now taking seriously. Why the fuck would you not just turn around and sell it, make it someone else's problem?
It's coming.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, it's all good. That's like
Richard spoilers gets.
That's not even again. That's not a spoiler because it's obvious that's what you should do. It's like, when does it happen is the real question. So they get this.
No, you rent that shit out. And then when they kill them, you wait till they catch them and then you move in.
See, you got some good diabolical fucking. You have like, for some reason, you honestly have supervillain plans. Like that is a supervillain plan. I like it. Good for you.
He's just capitalist pilled. He's all about that.
I said
that wealthy landowner lifestyle.
Same shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're still living at the old house that they owned in the town over. I forgot what it's called. It comes up later. But they're still living there. But they end up selling. They're selling that because that was the plan, to move into the house, but they're too scared to move in the house. So they move in with Maria's parents, who, like I said, lived up the street from the house. So now they're a couple blocks away from their house, but living with their mother-in-law. Yeah.
That was the plan all along.
Yeah. It's the in-laws.
I think we just solved it.
Yeah. They were starting to get stressed out with all the bills they had to pay with like a house they're not living in. Plus they're starting to help pay around the house. Plus like Derek Broaddus was complaining. He's like, imagine having to get up in the morning to go to work, shovel, the snow, and then later on in the day, I have to go to your other house and shovel again. Like he was, like they're just getting frustrated with all the other shit they have to do.
He's right, though. I truly can't imagine a worse plight that a human could face.
Yeah, that's true.
More than hunger, more than not having a driveway or a car. Nobody has suffered more than Derek Broaddus.
Why don't they just have the dude with the dog shovel the other house?
Yeah, if you're just gonna stand there. They never actually got a guy in. They put out a job posting for it, though. They never actually hired him.
So all I needed was a German Shepherd, and I was hired.
Well, you have to have a military background as well.
You can fake that shit. These people believe anything. They're reading letters in their mailbox and thinking they're in danger. What the fuck?
And when I said
you
white
just
supremacists,
bring like a cart with you and just go like, "This is my German Shepherd.
This is my gun. I am in the military."
When I said white supremacist looking, I think they meant more like skinhead, bulky neo-Nazi, not white polo carrying a tiki torch. So I don't think you'd fit that.
No. I'm legit. I just got back from the 41st season of Survivor. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So they want American History X, not Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, he's getting super stressed out, Derek, about this whole money thing, having to shovel business. This is all horseshit. And it's having an effect on his health, apparently, because he goes to the doctor and they prescribe him sleeping pills because he can't sleep. He's too scared to go to bed. Maria, she's not doing so hot either. She gets diagnosed with PTSD and starts seeing a therapist because they got some letters. Now the doctors are fleecing these assholes. You know what I mean? The doctors are fleecing these fucks now. So
I could see how it could become overwhelming if
PTSD.
You're constantly being harassed. I don't know shit about PTSD, so I'm not going to talk for or against it, but I can see how it could become overwhelming. But I would have got myself out of that situation long before it got to that stage. After I threw away the fourth letter that I didn't read, I would have been like, all right, I should probably do something about this.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, it wouldn't have lasted this long either. Yeah, they held on to the house for 6 months while the renovations were going on. After the renos were done, they decided they're going to sell it instead of moving in. They're going to move in while renos were happening, but fuck that, not with the watcher watching. They decided to try and sell it for $1.55 million because they put about $100,000 of renos in there, plus a little extra change for the packets. Nobody was biting. They eventually dropped it to $1.45 million, just a little bit over what they got. No takers, down to $1.125 million. No takers. And they weren't willing to go any lower than that. So nobody wanted to buy the house.
I'm suffering shoveling these 2 driveways. Less than $1 million. Are you out of your fucking mind?
After unsuccessfully selling their house on June 2nd, 2015, the Broaddusses begin their first lawsuit. The lawsuit is
That's the America I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. Now we're in it.
The lawsuit is the Broaddus family versus the Woods family.
Oh my God.
The Broaddusses filed a lawsuit against the Woods for intentionally not disclosing about the watcher before they moved in. They thought that the Woods knew about the watcher and purposely didn't tell Derek and Maria about it, even though they said they just wanted a quiet place to raise their kids. They're suing for legal costs and punitive damages for severe and incalculable emotional distress. Jesus Christ. They were suing for $1.35 million, the price of the house, plus treble damages. So that could have been a $2 million lawsuit at the end of it all. 2 weeks after filing the lawsuit, the existence of the letters get broadcast over the courthouse news service, and the internet goes wild over this case. The letters weren't secret anymore. This was the first time they became open to the neighborhood. So after they tried to actually quash they tried to block the knowledge of the letters going to the press. It was too late. The Today Show already picked them up. Today Show put them on like in the morning. We're like, this is one of the top 10 creepy stories we've ever had on our show. And they did some snippets from the letter. Like I did. They basically blew this fucking thing up. I would say that's the biggest thing that happened pretty quickly.
I'd love to watch Matt Lauer read those letters.
Yeah.
That'd be terrifying.
Matt Lauer probably
I would love to watch him write them again.
Yeah.
Write them again. Yeah, and as the lawsuit went on, the Broaddusses tried to sell their house to a developer who wanted to demolish the home and make 2 plots out of the land and build 2 houses. The city planners rejected their plan because the 2 lots would be 3 feet too small to fit into their bylaws. 3 feet. The neighbors heard about the plan to sell the house and smash it down, and they were all outraged. It would ruin the 600 block of Boulevard. That's the nicest house on the street. The more publicity the Watcher got, the more on edge Westfield would get. There were online groups just dedicated to the house and the Watcher. People who knew the Broaddusses were in the groups, including the neighbors. Some neighbors were terrified for themselves and the Broaddusses. Some didn't believe it at all. Some didn't want to believe it. Some called the Broaddusses wimps for not moving in. You pussies, get in there, you bitches. Derek responded, I don't think he responded much on these groups, but he definitely was there, I believe. And his response was like, are you going to risk your kids? It's my kids, man, which I agree with. That those letters would made me try and back out quick. I don't know if I would have sued them or whatever. I just would have tried to flip it quickly because no thanks. I don't need people watching my kids. It's creepy. Some thought that the Broaddusses were having buyer's remorse and made the whole story up to get out a real estate deal with the Woods. Rumors and gossip in a small community on Facebook could be cruel, and the Broaddusses got the brunt of it. A few days before Christmas 2015, the more vocal of the Broaddus neighbors all got a Watcher type letter. All the neighbors that have been vocal in criticizing the family on the internet received a hand-delivered message accusing them of speculating inaccurately about the Broaddus family. They were all signed
Friends of the Broaddus family.
I don't know.
Hand-delivered by who?
The mailman. They got...
Oh, all right.
I don't know exactly what the neighborhood letter said, but they were said to be packed with simmering resentment, and they were all anonymous. Most of the neighborhood letters just got chucked in the garbage, and they all thought it was Derek Broaddus sending them.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Which he actually admitted to sending them. He admitted later on that I sent those ones. He said he wasn't proud of it. He didn't even tell his wife. He actually disclosed this to a reporter for New York Magazine. He didn't even tell his wife. I don't even know if this guy, I wish I could hear the tapes of that interview with Derek Broaddus, because I guarantee he got them and he was just like, fine, I wrote them. But he never said that in the article. He just was like, I was at my wit's end with all the neighborhood silently throwing accusations at me. We didn't do this. They do it to ourselves. Anyway, so
I did something that would solidify their opinion of me.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and he promises it's the only ones he sent. He promises, cross his heart. This wasn't known until 2019, so no one knew that he sent them in 2015 when they got them. It took 5 years for him to even admit he did it. These guys, they didn't even give a fuck anyway. The rest of the neighborhood was like, fuck this letter, and they just threw it out. I love it. In 2016, the Broaddusses were feeling the pressure of owning the house again. They weren't living there, and it's been 2 years and starting to wear on their bank account. So they wanted to lease the house. And they were leasing it for $5,000 a month. Nobody was biting on leasing it either. But after months of searching, the Broaddusses did find someone with the condition they would actually rent the house, but the condition would be they could back out, no questions asked, if there was another letter sent. And they agreed to that because they were just bleeding money at this point. And then a couple weeks after the new tenants moved in, they called Derek to the house to deal with some squirrels that were now living in the roof. Just as Derek arrives, the new tenants handed him a letter, another Watcher letter. It had been 2.5 years since the last letter, and it seemed to come out of nowhere. The letter was dated February 13th, and it began like this. Actually, February 13th was the first day they gave depositions against the Woods for their lawsuit. Coincidence? I don't know. But here's how this letter goes.
No, we call that the American dream.
This letter goes,
Violent winds and bitter cold. To the vile and spiteful Derek and his wench of a wife, Maria. You wonder who the Watcher is? Turn around, idiots. Maybe you spoke with me, one of the so-called neighbors who has no idea who the Watcher could be. Or maybe you do know and are too scared to tell anyone. Good move. I walked by the news trucks and they took over my neighborhood and mocked me. I watched as you watched from the dark house in an ill attempt to find me. Telescopes and binoculars are wonderful inventions. 657 Boulevard survived your attempted assault and stood strong with its army of supporters barricading its gates. My soldiers of the Boulevard followed my orders to a T. They carried out their mission and saved the soul of 657 Boulevard with my orders. All hail the Watcher. Revenge can come in many forms. Maybe a car accident, maybe a fire, maybe something as simple as a mild illness that never seems to go away but makes you feel sick day after day after day after day after day. Maybe the mysterious death of a pet. Loved ones suddenly die. Planes, cars, bicycles crash. Bones break. You are despised by the house, and the Watcher won.
That's verbatim. So the new renters Derek was like, "Don't move out, I'll do anything." And they're like, "Okay, as long as you put more security up." So he put more cameras up, I guess. I don't really know. At this point, it's like fucking Fort Knox in there, but they ended up staying. By the end of October 2016, Lifetime made a horror movie entitled The Watcher, loosely based on the Broaddusses story. In 2017, the judge threw out the Broaddusses.
Wait, who retains the rights to that movie?
We're about to get to it. The Broaddusses lawsuit against the Woodses because it would set unreasonable precedent for what homeowners or home sellers would have to disclose to potential buyers. Like, what mail do you want them to disclose this week, buddy? I got a letter from my aunt, said she died. I guess you shouldn't sell the house. Like, the judge was like, it's too far. Just no, you lose. The Broaddusses, so they don't win that lawsuit. So what do they do next? They sue the city of Westfield because they
do you have to disclose if someone died in your home? Does anyone know?
Death, murder, like murder. Not, I don't think die. I think murder.
Rick's like, what if they were already dead when you brought them in?
Yeah.
What about then?
What can I get away with here?
Yeah, I think murder. I'm not sure though. I think like violent crime, even. I don't know. I know there's some stuff they do have to disclose, but not everything. I know murder for sure. I don't know if it's death though. Maybe if it's like a recent death and someone like melted through the floor or something because they were found 6 weeks later. I don't know, or 6 months later. I don't know.
Or were killed by a xenomorph.
I don't know. Yeah, yes, they're melted. They ended up suing the city of Westfield because they found out that the city approved another lot to separate into 2 lots with even bigger exceptions than they were asking for. So they were like, why can they do it, not us? So they went and started suing them. Despite a cease and desist order from the Broaddusses, after a bidding battle, Netflix won this story in 2018. Now, I looked up who Netflix bought the story from, and it was the article in the New York Magazine that I talked about earlier. That was the good. So they bought that article basically from the website The Cut. It's going to be a Naomi Watts-led limited series starting 2022. Yeah. So I thought it was going to be a movie, but no, it's going to be a little 6-parter, I think, which is cool. In 2019, the Broaddusses sold their house for
Private Dicks did it first.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you, Netflix.
Yeah, fuck you, Netflix, for sure. Yeah, in 2019, the Broaddusses sold their house for just under $1 million, taking $400,000 loss on the property. The lawsuit against the city of Westfield was also thrown out, and they haven't received any more letters. The new owners haven't reported any letters. In fact, The Cut, that magazine website, they went back to as many previous owners as they could find to see if anybody had actually received any Watcher letters at all. And only the Woods with that one 3 days before. Everybody else said it was a perfect place to grow up. My family loved living there. We had a great time. We just moved out when it became too much for our old elderly parents. It was all the same story. Beautiful place. So no one ever did it.
Wonderful pen pals. People just really willing to talk to you all the time. It was a wonderful place to live.
Yeah, that's basically the nutshell story. And then there's a little bit more to it when I get into like theories. But any thoughts to begin with?
Yeah, the loss on their house is equal to if I sold my house for $70,000.
It's rich people problems. I got you.
I could have bought 4 of my houses with the loss they had on theirs.
I honestly think it's a long-term play by Netflix, and good on you guys. I mean, honestly, capitalism is alive and well.
That would be their move.
I mean, Richard was just saying there's not enough bad shit happening in the United States. So
one of the early theories, before I even get into the theories I wrote down, but one of the theories that I did read was a viral marketing campaign. That's what this whole thing is a preview to a movie.
For Westfield Realty, right?
Yeah, sponsored by Westfield Realty. Yeah, that's one of the theories, but I mean, I kind of find that far. If that's a fucking long game, that's like a 8-year game, maybe. I know how organized most people are, not 8 years organized. This isn't Kevin Feige organized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how long did that fucking Cloverfield shit go on for? That was a couple years at least, right?
Oh, who knows? It might be that. I'm just saying, like, I doubt it, but maybe. It was in there.
All things considered, knowing it's Netflix, it's going to be a dog shit fucking miniseries. So it's going to be a lot of effort for very little payoff, but...
Take that, Netflix, you fucks. Fuck you, Netflix. Take that. Yeah. We're getting canceled.
Got him.
What do you got? Any thoughts on this, Virgil? Officer Virgil?
I got nothing.
All right.
Very, very cop answer.
Fonda. Yeah, fucking cops. Classic cop. Yonda, what do you think's going on here? You got any theories?
It's suspicious that it only happened to the one family.
When I first started reading this, when I skimmed over it, when someone suggested this to me, it was actually Selena Stevens from the Facebook group. Thank you. When someone suggested this to me, I skimmed through it and I was like, this is terrifying. Then by the time I got to the end, I'm like, by the time I got to the end, I was
whoa, Richard, what is it? An FBI agent? Calm down.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to contest it probably isn't real because it only happened to one person. Otherwise, we would have to throw out almost every crime that there is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that, because if it is a serial killer, that just might be their type of target for whatever reason, the type of people that own $2 million plus homes at once.
Oh no, we'll get into it. Their other house is not $1 million plus house. Okay, well, let's go. Theory number one, I'm just going to say theory. The Woodses are the watcher. Before I say this theory, no one thinks the Woodses sent the letters at all, except for me. I think the Woodses thought this was a funny prank and it got out of hand and they just noticed that they weren't laughing. So they just kept going with it and thought maybe it would get funny over time. This is how I would do things. If it's not a funny joke, I would just keep going until it became funny, and it never became funny. So that's what I want to do. And irritating an insurance person who just bought my house would be fun to me. So no one actually thinks the Woodses did, except for I want it to be just somebody fucking with the Broaddusses because he's an insurance asshole. That's my theory. There you go. It's not good theory. It's just a theory.
I'm going to jump back in real quick. Now, I do have a theory. It just clicked. I think we need to go back to that priest that blessed the house. Okay. I think he's up with the kids. He's trying to get them into church so he can just fuck them,
Yeah.
So he's just letters trying to seduce those fucking young bloods.
That's true.
Is it intentional that the horns are lining up perfectly with your head when you say this?
No, but hail Satan.
There you go. Hey man, if somebody's trying to get young blood, it's probably a religious person, and all these people are very religious. Everybody I mentioned in the story is very religious people.
Check the priests, check the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Talking about a lot of young blood, I have a feeling it might be Hillary Clinton and the cabal of Democrats as well.
There you go. Have I mentioned that RJ is Q? Moving on.
You're not supposed to tell anybody that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only for my friends on 4chan to know.
So the next theory, the real first theory, is that their neighbors, their direct beside neighbors are the ones doing this, the Langfords. Now, I didn't really talk about the Langfords because it would kind of given away that they're a theory, but here they are. Okay, so I'm not sure if this part is before or after the first letter or after the second letter, but at some point, Derek is out talking to John Schmidt, who lives 2 doors down from him, okay? Schmidt tells Derek about Derek's neighbor that lives directly between them, the Langfords. The Langfords' household consists of Peggy, who is in her 90s, and her grown sons, who are in their 60s. Oh, weird, right away. Imagine being 60, living with your parents still, who's 90. Just die, Mom. Just die. Anyways.
Wait a minute.
They're just grown sons. They're not even married. They're just weirdo kids who live with their parents.
Wait, but why is the parent the problem? Because they're not dying quick enough and not the child who still lives with them.
Oh, for sure. But if you're going to hold on for that long, it's because you're waiting for them to die. Like, it's not because you want to live there anymore. You know what I mean? When you're 30 and you move out, that's like kind of weird. But when you're 60, you've committed. That's most of your life now. You've lived with your mom. You're going to put it out. I want my freedom. It's your turn now. I had the chance to leave.
By the time you're 45, if she's not dead, she's just being a cunt.
To either of Richard's parents, if you are in danger right now, blink twice. Blink twice.
I don't live with my parents. I'm a normal person who moved out.
He was smart. He killed them.
Yeah. They're in the walls.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
He doesn't live with them. They live with him.
Yeah.
Schmidt actually said the Langfords weren't that bad. They're just a weird family, but they're harmless. The youngest of the Langfords' name was Michael, and he was the black sheep of the family. This is coming from Schmidt, the neighbor 2 doors down. Why was he the black sheep? Because he didn't work and he had a beard. That's what he said. Like, oh my God. Can you believe it? He wears sweatpants out in the public. Fuck that guy. He's a fine, he is the black sheep with that beard and everything. Different. That's literally a quote. Sure. Actually, the reason he's a little bit weird, and probably at the time of this conversation, Schmidt didn't know this, but he's got schizophrenia, Michael. According to his mother, he's got schizophrenia. And to new people around the neighborhood, he could be a bit weird sometimes. But he would be that guy, like that weirdo in the neighborhood who would just like, he would bring people, he would pick up the newspaper and bring it to someone's door and be like, oh, I picked up your newspaper for you, sir. Like he would do just weird stuff like that. Not harmful things, weird things that leave my newspaper alone, I guess, but it's not.
He's just lonely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You live with your mom forever.
The schizophrenic guy in my neighborhood when I was growing up used to stand on his porch with his shirt off and giggle by himself while he smoked cigarettes. So
that's the perfect schizophrenic.
yeah, I would much rather just having him hand off the paper. That would be.
That sounds like a normal Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes. That's Virgil. That's why he's on mute all the time. He's just giggling and smoking cigarettes.
just somehow happening to coincide with when the kids are waiting for the bus.
Yeah. Ooh, that's weird. That got weird quickly. I like it. I mean, I don't like it. Did he like Youngblood? Anyways, after talking to the Schmidts, though, Derek and Maria thought the case was solved. All right. Michael Langford from his house could see that easel in the back deck. They were close enough to hear and learn the Broaddusses' names. It must be Derek. So they went to go see Detective Lugo, and they proclaim the weirdo Langford did it. Probably one with the beard. And thinking Detective Lugo is going to compliment him on his amazing detective work, Derek is disappointed to find out that Lugo had already spoken to Michael Langford a week after the first letter. During the police interview, Michael denied even knowing about the letters. Derek insisted that Michael's narrative matched what was in the letters, meaning that he's lived there his whole life, basically. And the narrative was, my dad watched this place in the 60s and I'm watching it now. I don't know. Just judging by the DNA, it didn't match him because he's a guy. And they tested his mom and it didn't match any of the Langfords. So without any solid evidence from the impressive Broaddusses investigative team and the police, Detective Lugo could do nothing. I'm not really convinced it's Michael or any of the Langfords at all. I just think that guy got fucking sidelined because he has a beard and he's got schizophrenia, really. And the DNA doesn't even match. And this is a kind of DNA I will trust because it's from 2014. It's not from the 1970s. DNA is very good if it's taken care of properly. So I don't think that this guy is any type of part of it.
Yeah. But things don't change, even in the 21st century. We always want to blame the creepy FBI agent of the neighborhood for anything that goes wrong.
Theory number 2 is random lady from the neighborhood or the entire neighborhood. After the Broaddusses hired the private investigator, many people in the neighborhood looked suspicious of course they would, because as soon as you start digging into people, you'll find stuff that fits your narrative if you have confirmation bias. As soon as you have an idea, someone in the neighborhood did it, you find a bunch of weird shit from the neighbors that's been happening because of the neighbors, you're going to suspect them. Like 2 of the people were sex offenders that lived within a few blocks. Okay, might have been them. Potentially, but you can get on the sex offender list for like a million different ways.
Right. Let's sight unseen start defending.
And you
sex
too
offenders.
can be on the sex offender list.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody can be. But my point is, maybe they were trying to lure in the kids, or maybe they're just 2 guys trying to fucking forget they ever did that shit. I don't know. Bill Woodward was one of the house painters.
Yeah, it sounds like a sex offender.
No, we're past the sex offenders now. It could be the sex offenders. I'm not saying it's not.
I'm sorry. He's a house painter, you said?
Yeah, this next guy's the house
painter.
He
may not have been on the list, but he's a sex offender. That's
exactly.
He's right. That's the most sex offender job you can hold. That's a job you work when you're fresh out of jail or fucking living in a halfway house. You're like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a house painter. Somebody paid you to show up and paint their fucking house. That's
look at your kids' pictures. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I'll paint the house.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just painting the house with a fucking erection, looking through the windows and shit.
Yeah.
Just paint the same spot for 45 minutes.
Good thing they had published these kids' names. Poor kids. So Bill Woodward, one of the house painters, noticed that one of the neighbors behind 657 would sit on the lawn chairs just staring at the Broaddus's house. They would have had a good vantage point to see the kids and the easel. So that's one. The guys across the back way. The investigators also saw a car pull up and park in front of 657 or nearby 657 for a suspicious amount of time. Then a guy got out and the car drove off. The guy walked home. After investigating, the guy lived nearby, like I said, and the woman was his girlfriend. They also found out that the guy was playing a video game with the main character being the Watcher. That's what the girlfriend said. I don't know. He plays a game with the Watcher. I just think this is more the girl didn't give a shit about video games and didn't realize he was playing The Witcher. Like that's what I think's happening. There's no Watcher I can think of. I play video games, but The Witcher is a big one. I don't think it's any of these fucking people in the neighborhood like that.
Well,
put it this way: the cops were patrolling that area. They had extra patrols. No one saw anything.
how old were the kids?
5 to 10. They were 5, 7, and 10, I think.
All right.
If it would have been someone in the neighborhood, I think it would have been. If it would be a petty rich person who didn't want the Broaddusses to move into their affluent neighborhood, black or white.
Say a pedo rich person?
Could be. Some of the grumblings from the neighborhood when they were blaming the Broaddusses for doing this to themselves was that how can someone go from a $300,000 house in Scotch Plains to a $1.3 million mortgage in Westfield in 6 months? And Derek's response is, I'm going to go with Getz to see if you can guess it. What's his response to that? He actually responded to this.
I pulled up my bootstraps and I worked my way up. That's the American dream.
Close. His response was, it's America. That's how.
Fuck yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So could this just be it? Could this just be one of the old neighbors that don't think the Broaddusses belong in their $1 million neighborhood because they came from the disgusting $300,000 houses down below in Scotch Plains? Get that out of here. Get that shit out of here, you hicks.
Right. Disgusting proposal. Also an equally disgusting answer.
Yeah.
So like you should be so disconnected on so many levels. How can someone make 6 figures a year and go down to making nothing and being in debt, all just because they got cancer? It's America. That's how.
America, the opposite. It goes both ways in America. It goes both ways.
Tone deaf.
So next theory is just random yet plausible person. If it's nobody in the neighborhood, there's theories that it could be other people that are in the Broaddus's life doing this. Since they never found out which woman the DNA and the envelope belonged to, they investigated the whole neighborhood. Maybe it's somebody else. So who do you like? If you clear out the neighborhood, what do you go to next? Someone with a vendetta, right? Who could those people be? Like a contractor, someone that was like fucking with him because he didn't pay their bills quick enough or something. I don't know. A business deal gone wrong involving an insurance guy. People love insurance agents, so I don't think they'd ever threaten an insurance person.
Have we cleared the children?
Yeah, was it the children just fucking with them? They're 10, so.
Is one of them a daughter? Because, we're going DNA for a woman. That doesn't rule out girls.
That was my inclination initially, like just like a moody teen. But if they're all that young, yeah.
6-year-old daughter with a vendetta.
Mm-hmm. That would be sick.
Somebody killed my dog, and she goes on like a whole fucking John Wick.
Not even somebody made me move school districts.
Oh, we got Elf on the Shelf at my house right now. I think my daughter's about to stab someone.
None of these people have been ruled out. I'm just saying, like, there could be all sorts of fucking people they didn't even. I didn't see anybody look into, like people that were outbid for the house. Nobody looked into that. Like maybe someone wanted that house and they bid them. Just they lost out of the house. Maybe they're pissed. Maybe it's a real estate agent just trying to do Getz's scam, which is a pretty fucking funny scam. Just scare them out, keep doing it over and over until you make like a bunch of money. That's a pretty good plan. None of this was looked into. It was just the neighbors, I think. Maybe a lot of outsourced people were looked into too, but they don't really mention it much in the information on the internet. Theory number 4, which I pretty much mostly believe in, is the Broaddusses sent the letters to themselves. This is what the neighborhood thought when they heard the plan to demolish the house. This is kind of what I think after reading a bunch into this. The accusations that fueled Derek Broaddus to send the letters to his neighbors was this. They were claiming they must have had buyer's remorse getting stuck into such a big mortgage. How did they go from whatever house to 6 years later? So why would they write? So maybe Maria wanted to move by her mom so badly that they kind of overextended themselves, that they couldn't afford this house. And Derek wasn't going to be like, fuck you, we can't afford this. He was just like, I don't know. And then she's like, let's just get it. We'll do it. We can figure it out. But he wasn't completely sold. So what he does is he sends a letter to the people he's buying it from, tries to scare them. They don't bite. Okay. But they know the letter came. So this would scare them into like not selling the house, first of all, or if they don't say anything, they're not disclosing that this crazy, scary letter came. Right. So then they wait 3 days into them getting it. They give themselves a letter. So there's already been a letter sent. So now they got like some sort of backup that it's not just them. The previous owners got them too. And how come they didn't tell us? And then either A, this will scare his wife, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe Derek really wanted there and she didn't want to put the money in. Whatever way this happens, they scare the significant other into being like, either A, they get scared and they want to move out. They don't like the letters. Or B, they can just try and sue to get their money back because the previous people didn't disclose what they were doing, right? But the problem is nobody's believing them, or nobody's scared. Like nobody gives a shit except for these people. So they make this big drama out of it, send 3 or 4 more letters, and then they can try and sue them, like get their money back. Then they don't have to be stuck in this gigantor mortgage. They can go to their doctors, say we have PTSD all we want. And then now that it doesn't work, none of this plan works. They just keep going with it because they're already too deep in, and Netflix comes and approaches them for a fucking deal. So now the house is bought anyway, you know? So now they got that's why I think, I don't know if Netflix gave them any money. I couldn't find that anywhere, but I'm guessing they did. And that's why they dropped the amount to sell the house. So they got a nice chunk of money out of Netflix for their story, and they're out of it for good. And they don't have to talk about it anymore. That's my theory. That's what I think. They just did this to like scam. I think one of them wasn't far in. That's what I think. I think one of the 2 couples didn't really want to do it. They got in too deep and they said, how do I get out of it? This is my way.
Yeah, that tracks. I was just looking up, just ballparking what the mortgage would be on a $1.4 million home. And let's just say, which is likely not the case, that they didn't owe anything on their last home and they had a $300,000 down payment. Very unlikely. But their mortgage would be like $7,500 a month for 30 years.
That's a lot of money. That's a fucking lot of money.
That's insane. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they sent them. I just don't know the reasoning. That's just the best I can think of after reading a bunch of this, is like, it's a scam. The whole thing's a scam to try and get out of paying.
Yeah. It seems like it to me. I mean, it just keeps like reiterating this like super fucking one note thing with the young blood, and it just sounds like a very uncreative insurance guy type thing to try to spin.
Got any thoughts there, Gets? Because I have one more theory quick. Well, this is actually probably the longest one. But go ahead.
Get your theory, and I'm almost done. Get your theory.
Okay. Remember DB Cooper when I talked about one of the suspects was a guy named John List? He was the Family Annihilator guy?
Yes.
John, yeah, he was from Westfield. This is where that tragedy happened, was in the same city as 657 Boulevard. Just a couple blocks up, actually. Some people, the theory is that John List's ghosts, family ghosts, the ghosts of John List's family haunt 657 Boulevard. And I'll tell you why.
A different house.
You'll listen. You'll hear. This is a fun little one. So just so you know what John List did, okay, to make ghosts, he and his family lived in actually a 19 bedroom mansion.
You want to see how ghosts are made?
You want to see how ghosts are made? This is how ghosts are made right here. So List and his family lived in a 19 bedroom mansion named Breeze Knoll. Okay. Another Knoll. See how this is coming up again? There's a lot of shit. I have to tell this. I wasn't going to, but I have to. There's too many things. He lived with his mother, Alma, his wife, Helen, and their 3 kids, Patricia, John Jr., and Frederick, all aged between 13 and 16. And in 1971, List killed his entire family. He shot his wife and his mother first, and then he waited for his kids to come home from school so he could shoot them. John Jr. didn't come home from school that day as he had a soccer game. So John went to go pick up little John Jr. from his soccer game as the rest of his family was lying dead in the home. He picked up the kid, and once he got little Junior home, he shot him in the chest and face. He took the bodies and he placed them all in sleeping bags. John cut his face out of all the family pictures in the house. He changed the radio station to a Christian station and left the house forever.
Ew, that's the real crime.
Yeah. It's pretty scary.
And that's how ghosts are made.
Yeah. Family wasn't found for a month. During this time, List emptied his and his mother's bank account to start a life elsewhere in America. The dead List family was only found after a neighbor noticed that some of their light bulbs started to go out. That's how long they were. That's fucking hilarious to me. Light bulbs had to go out before people were like, maybe I should go check on them.
Yeah, but like, didn't light bulbs last for like a week or some shit back then?
Yeah, I think that was part of the plan to sell more light bulbs. I think you're right.
Hmm.
This earned him the nickname the Boogeyman of Westfield. List wasn't caught for 18 years, and he was only caught because his story was told on America's Most Wanted. In court, List testified that he killed his family because he didn't want to tell them that he was in financial ruin. So in 2002, List gave a television interview where he said he couldn't commit suicide that day because he thought suicide would prevent him from going to heaven. And he wanted to go to heaven where he could be with his family again. Breeze Knoll was burned to the ground in a suspicious arson in 1972, but the new house that is built on the old plot is still known as the List House. Now, this is how they're connected. Okay. Maybe ghosts are writing notes to 657 Boulevard thinking it's the old List House, because ghosts can don't only haunt places, they haunt the time frame that they're in. So if the place doesn't exist anymore, they just move down to the next old house. So where they could just put their trauma out there. I don't know why people say that the John List ghost, but that's the only reasoning I can come up with is they need to have the same age. Like the house that they're haunting has to be the same age as when they died at least.
Wow. Their backs are probably sore from the reaching they have to do with that one. So.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's the kind of thing the ghost of Amelia Earhart would want them to think.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine them but think about it. Imagine being a ghost in a new house because you have to haunt something, and then you just see like natural gas lines or something like, what do I do here? You know, is this hot water?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Internet.
So they just go where they feel more comfortable. Yeah, exactly. What's this? Where is this naked lady on this boxy screen?
Yeah. Watching somebody watch porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Just being horrified.
Ghost cucks.
Oh my
Ghost
God.
Cuck children.
They're the real ghosts.
That's how ghosts are made.
Yeah. What a wonderful and delightful euphemism for murder.
Hey, in reality,
go make some
and
ghosts.
That's how ghosts are made. That's how you haunt someone else's house. Burn down the house that was haunted.
Well, that is an interesting one.
Like rats, they flee to the next house.
This isn't a theory so much as something that just made me laugh to think about. But what if that one Langford dude that by all accounts seems very suspicious, but they didn't have the DNA to match him, is just like laughing to himself while he like picks up a severed woman's head and just starts like using its tongue to like lick envelopes. He's like,
they'll never catch me this way.
Yeah.
Thanks, hooker from 25 years ago.
Yeah. Somehow still has a wet tongue.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like, when, those old, like, so you wouldn't have to lick a stamp. It would just be like the water. He just has one of those.
He's just like tongue. A sponge that he just dips your skull into.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a hooker's tongue in a dish.
Yeah. He's spitting on a mummified hooker's tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, then that would be his DNA.
Yeah, that would fuck up the DNA, but still. All right, Getz has a video. I can tell he's like editing a video right now.
Been hard at work.
Yeah. This is going to morph into fucking Wolfgang or like...
Werdingo.
Yeah, it's just going to turn into the Werdingo getting pegged from both sides.
Oh man!
All right, I need just like 5 seconds and I'm done. I just need to export it. All right.
Let's see what.
All right, I got it. It's gonna be a little blurry, but I got it. So let me just start off by sharing my screen. Hopefully, whoever hosts this is allowing me to. Sorry if it's a little blurry. It's a low quality image. It's all I could find for Westfield Realty.
Damn.
So all I was doing the entire time was trying to figure out who sold this home, because I am pretty fucking sure that it was just a scam, right? And then I figured it out, right? So Westfield Realty
About to get us hit with a defamation
is the
lawsuit.
watcher. Coming to Netflix this fall.
For the listener, he made a video that had Westfield Realty, the logo, and took the W from Westfield and R from Realty, made it pan over beside each other, and wrote Watcher, the W from Westfield, the Realtor ending R from Watcher, and then put Netflix underneath. Hilarious.
Yeah, that's got to go on the Patreon.
I'll send you that. Yeah, I'll send you it. It's a really shitty video, but I quickly threw it together while we were talking.
Once we drop this episode, that is how we're promoting it. You're just
and he's going put that on the TikTok, on the Facebook.
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
That's too good.
I will cut that little I will cut your solution to this thing out, and we'll put it on everything. It's funny. That was fucking funny.
I would clean it up, but I'm lazy, so I'm gonna leave it like that.
No,
Yeah,
just like
fine.
this is.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That was hilarious. I was not expecting that. I was expecting Amelia Earhart's face to be on there somewhere and be like, "You landed in the building somehow."
Hey, I'm a little creative, all right?
No, you're good. That was fucking funny. That was hilarious.
He convinced me.
That's all you need is graphics. Everybody's all over it.
Yeah. So are we going with Netflix did this whole thing? Is that what we're telling Officer Virgil here?
It was a Westfield Realty and Netflix promo. Just wait. I bet you if you look into who sold Netflix their properties,
I bet you when in the show there'll be a bunch of product placement for Westfield Realty. Like they'll be buying the house from Westfield Realty. There'll be like ads on the side of trucks, Westfield Realty. That's what I'm thinking now. There'll be all sorts of Westfield Realty product placement. Someone's gonna be like, "Whoa, have you ever been to Westfield Realty?" Like someone will be like really obvious with it, like Wayne's World. You know what I mean? Like I drink Pepsi.
I drink Westfield Realty spring water.
Yeah. So I think that's the good solution. What do you think, Officer Virgil? You think that you could bring that back to the boys in blue? And
yeah, it checks out. If we follow the money, it's all going to go right back to them.
Yeah, you guys should probably definitely look into follow the money. That's actually the greatest idea. Follow the money at Netflix. See how much money you got. What do you think, Abigail?
Abigail.
Who? What?
Oh,
that's who you've been, Abigail, this whole fucking time.
No, I'm Fonda.
No, I need you to stand up and come with me. I got a call from a Celeste saying I need to check your desk.
My desk?
Yeah.
Wait, we'll leave Abigail. Leave Abigail alone. What does she do in her desk? What's going on with her desk?
There's nothing in my desk.
Yeah, let them check it then.
I'm kind of mad she gets a desk, but not one of us have a desk.
You will stand in the corner like I tell you.
Can I have her desk after he checks it?
Solve 2 crimes right here. I'm seeing it looks like meth here and some knockoff Viagra.
I don't know where that came from.
Will the desk come with that?
Yeah, it's just like Celeste said it would be.
Celeste doesn't know what she's talking about.
No, you need to put your hands behind your back and come with me.
No, I don't want to go anywhere. Dick, help me.
I wanted to talk to you. You've been using all our money on drugs. Now that I know where the money went, we couldn't even pay rent this month. Take her away.
Come on, man. Oh, I was really fond of you dicks too, and now I'm not even fonda.
Take her away, Virgil.
Man, it's almost like she chose that name just for this moment.
Yeah, let's go, Abigail. Watch your head on the fucking door.
When I get out of this mess, I'm going to come after you guys, and you're all going to be in so much trouble.
Oh, no, my mom's coming to give me trouble.
Well, I'm going to come after you, and I'm going to come after your families. I'm going to find your kids.
I'm going to find my kids.
Your parents, everyone. I'm coming after everyone you know.
For the record, Private Dicks retains all rights to this story. Netflix cannot take it.
Hulu, let's talk.
Ah!
Shut the fuck up back there.
There you go. Awesome. I like it. That's perfect.
Do we know what law enforcement department he was with?
Did you ever check? Did any of us check his ID? So that's the end of season 1 of Private Dicks. Abigail's in jail. Santa's a narc. Bob Motta's our lawyer. Things are getting weird. I wonder where season 2 is going to bring us. I have a couple announcements before we end the season here. This episode will have dropped on January 7th, 2022. And then in 2 weeks' time, on the 21st of January, we'll be doing a story episode, which doesn't have a case involved, but it will have a bit of the Private Dick storyline going on in the background to just further the plot a little bit. On February 4th, we will be starting season 2 of Private Dicks. Okay, so stay tuned for that, you Patreon animals. And also, that will be when we go public with season 1 of Private Dicks. As the episodes from season 1 drop on our public feed, season 2 episodes will follow suit on the same day on the Patreon page for Unethical Podcast. That's our mama podcast. We're just the baby podcast that got birthed out of the mama podcast that is Unethical. It's the other one that I'm on, so you should check that one out if you're just hearing this for the first time. If you're on Patreon, you already know. But that's where you can get the season ahead of Private Dicks. That'll be on our Unethical Patreon for the main show. There you can get all sorts of things. You can get early access to uncut episodes of Unethical. There'll be a season ahead of Private Dicks. There'll be, as the season 1 drops on the public feed, we'll be putting up the video of the episode, uncut, for you guys to peruse. There's uncut episodes of Unethical episodes. There's bonus mini episodes. There's all sorts of great stuff to go check out there. And if you're already a Patreon member, we appreciate it. And I'm glad that you guys are here to hear the future of the show while the people are still stuck in the past, learn what you already know. Yeah, if you're just hearing this on the public feed, you'll be hearing this September 2nd, 2022. Right now, it's December 30th, 2021. That's how far ahead we are on episodes. So go to Patreon and check it out. Don't forget. All right. So please, on February 4th, watch for the release of Private Dicks on a public feed and go sign up and give us 5 stars on that bad boy and circle back over to Unethical. If you've never listened to it before, you're going to love it. So thanks a lot, everyone that's listened to season 1. I hope you like next week's story episode. Now let's let Oscar finish this off like he normally does.
I just watched Private Dicks and I think RJ's the funniest.
What? Come on.
Hey there, all you private dickheads. That's probably not the name we're gonna stick with. Anyways, RJ here. I am here to tell you thank you for listening to another episode of Private Dicks. If you liked what you heard, go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere they take your reviews, drop us 5 stars, say something nice. Also, what you just heard was from last season. If you want current episodes as they're dropped, head on over to patreon.com and search up Unethical Podcast. That's our mother podcast. I was not aware Private Dicks was a spinoff. I'm going to renegotiate my contract. On Patreon is a full 16-episode season more of Private Dicks, uncut videos of each episode, and many more things are getting added all the time. You can also find all of Unethical's content on there, so go listen to that. And if you're already a patron, fuck yeah, dude. You're the best.